Welcome to Chris Parkin Shooting Sports. This is the Umarex Iconix air rifle. Now this is available in 177 or 22 from Sportsman Gun Centre, and retail price on it is just $191.99. Now this is an economy air rifle, so don't expect the earth from it, but I have to say it does perform quite well if you just take a few factors into account. So starting out, as I say, 177 or 22. So the steel barrel is threaded 1/2 inch for a sound moderator, and I did shoot it most of the time with the moderator. I took a few shots with the moderator off, and I say a small moderator does actually make the sound even smaller from what is actually already a very quiet rifle. Critically, it has a 100cc air cylinder on the underneath of it, and that takes a 200 bar fill. It's got a pressure gauge on the end which is visible from the end, and it comes with a plunger to actually do the filling with, and then that just has a little collar, rotates into place there, Foster connector on that, so that will go into your air hose, and then that plonks in there. Just make sure you get a good click like that, because that click's critical. And that then makes sure it's fully sealed, and it's very easy to fill up quickly. And with it only being a 100cc cylinder, 200 bar, although it doesn't give you a huge shot count, it does make it very quick and easy to fill, especially if you're using a hand pump. Now, as I say, it's unregulated, so how many shots do you get through it? Well, you don't get many. I would say 20 to 25 shots before the power curve starts to show the difference in point of impact. But if you go from a full fill, you can get a good bit of pest control with it, nice bit of fun, nip back, fill it up, and off you go again. Of course, it's an economy air rifle, so don't expect the earth. So the barrel and the cylinder, all metal, and then you've got a polymer synthetic stock like this, which is skeletonized at the back end. Length of pull's 14 inches, which is 370 millimeters, so it's actually quite a long length of pull, which makes the rifle feel quite adult size, to be fair. But it is very lightweight at just 2,165 grams, which is £4.12 ounces. Overall length is 1,020 millimeters, which is 40 inches, so it's quite a handy rifle, and the Picatinny rail on top does make it easy to mount a scope. That is a polymer Picatinny rail. It says Picatinny, it's not quite to dimension, but it will work perfectly with most scope mounts, and that gives you a good secure fit for your optic. I'm using Hawk rings on this, and I'm using an Element Optic 6-24 scope. Perhaps a little bit more specification than most shooters will want from this rifle, but it was handy and I wanted to shoot with it. The rifle's got a side lever cocking system, which is familiar for most. It's really ergonomic actually. You can really just grab it quickly with your fingertips, fits underneath there. And of course, every time you cock it, the magazine will rotate and give you a new pellet fed into the 510mm 20-inch barrel. You can of course decock this if you want to, so that's now inert. The safety catch is on the bottom of the trigger guard here, which is a little bit unusual, but you can see it pop in and out there to block the trigger and make sure it won't fire. The trigger is a two-stage unit. It is quite firm in use, and it breaks at 3,500 grams, which is £7.10 ounces. Two-stage, but it's quite predictable actually. So once you get used to it, hold on the second stage, then squeeze as you aim, and this is a safe dry fire, but it will go pop. And there we go. That is with the sound moderator off. It's obviously a lot quieter with the pelleting and a sound moderator on. That becomes very predictable to use, and you do get used to it. But interestingly, if you snatch at a trigger on any rifle, it's detrimental to accuracy. So sometimes it's better to start out with a slightly heavier trigger that is consistent, because it reminds you, if you don't snatch at the trigger, you will make good shots. And to be fair, this rifle at 20 meters did shoot quite impressive groups. Air temperature today was 1 degree Celsius. It was about a 6 mile per hour wind, but it wasn't too blowy. And this is at 10 shots at 20 meters using the JSB pellets you can see on screen here. That's the 10.34 grain pellet, and it was just popping out at about 10.5 foot-pounds. But do remember, after the sort of first 20-25 shots, that will start dropping down, but you'll get a lot of plinking shots before it goes way below even at 8 foot-pounds. So you can have quite a lot of shooting fun with it, and it does of course teach you to remind yourself to make sure you're watching where those pellets are striking and not just assuming you're hitting or missing. Now, as well as the 2 rotary 10 round magazines, you get a single shot adapter tray, and that will just clip in position here to allow you to pop a single pellet into that channel and load in every time. And that's great if you're target shooting and you're not bothered about breaking off to reload magazines. If you do reload the magazines, want to use the magazines, they're quite simple to operate. They're 10 rounds each. The instructions are given in the manual, but essentially what you do is you rotate that all the way around to there, and that preloads the spring. You drop 1 pellet in, make sure it doesn't fall all the way through, and then that locks the actual rotor inside. You then turn this all the way back, and as you go all the way back, you just fill up the other little 10 slots, and that then gives you 10 shots. So every time you cock it, cycle it, cock it, cycle it, it will fire again, again and again. And of course the last round will hold open, so you don't waste that last shot just breathing a load of air that you would have wanted to shoot a pellet with, because the magazine blocks the probe from going forward into the barrel. Now, in fairness, it's £191. It's not the most expensive air rifle in the world, but if you want a pre-charged air rifle that is actually light, handy and very convenient for shooting, it's not going to worry you if you scratch it or mark it, and it's great if people want to learn to shoot with it. The trigger is heavy, but it is consistent and precise, so I can get used to that, and I was quite happy shooting it. I also shot it from tripod sticks, and you can clamp that in the tripod sticks without any problem at all with compressing the barrel and changing the point of impact. The butt pad on the back is rubber, grips well into your shoulder, and of course this skeletonized stock saves a lot of weight, and you can shoot thumb up or thumb wrapped depending on how you want to handle a rifle. Cocking and closing is actually very quick and straightforward. I was quite happy using it. So all in all, I'm going to say this rifle is an incredibly good start into the world of pre-charged air rifles for just £191. You really can't go too far wrong with it, whether you want to do plinking or pest control. The rifle also comes with an additional seal kit, so if you ever need to do any servicing or maintenance, those will cope with it for you, but I would generally send it off to an experienced professional for those services. But it does mean that you've got everything you need to keep up to this rifle, and it should last you a very long time. Right, thank you to Sportsman Gun Centre for sending me the rifle. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell and keep track of the regular uploads. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.